Non-scale victories and rewards. What does that mean? Well, that's my topic for today on Meema Make Living Healthy. If you want to know more, you got to stay tuned. Hello. Well, just like my intro said, today's topic is non-scale victories and rewards. I'll go into that in just a few minutes, but as usual, I'm going to share this week's weekly Weight Watcher weigh-in. Last week, as some of you might remember, I weighed in at 126.6 pounds. Now, I wasn't that upset about the actual weight. Where I get upset is when my weight fluctuates by more than 2 pounds. And for the last 2 weeks, it had done that. 2 weeks ago, I had dropped 3 pounds, which is unheard of for me. So I knew something wasn't exactly right. And then when I got on the scale last week and weighed in at 126.6, that was 2.5 pounds of a gain. I wasn't happy of that fluctuation. I struggle on maintenance, as I'm sure a lot of y'all do too that are on maintenance. And my goal is to keep the loss or the gain each week somewhere around 2 pounds or less. So when I go over that, I'm not a happy camper. And so this week I was determined to try to keep the weight gain or the weight loss at a minimum. Even though I did want to drop a little bit because obviously 126 is above my happy weight. And so this week I did okay. I had a few bouts of getting close to binging, but I realized what was going on and I stopped it before it got out of hand. And so when I got on the scale this morning, I really didn't know what to expect. Earlier in the week, I just knew I was going to have a gain. And then as the week progressed, I knew I'd done better. So I thought I was going to be pretty even with what I was last week. And when I got on the scale this morning, I weighed 125.8. That is 0.8 of a pound less than what I weighed last week. So I fell in that 2 pound gain, 2 pound loss amount that's my purpose now. So I'm okay with that. Am I still above my happy weight? Yes. I'm 0.8 of a pound above my happy weight, but I will get there. And I truly believe the slower that I lose when I'm on maintenance, the better. I'll keep it off longer because, you know, I was 124 for 1 week and then bounced all the way up to 126.6. That's not good. So me just losing 0.8 of a pound, I'm hoping maybe next week I can do the same and the next week and then be firmly in the middle of my happy weight. That's all of my weight update for this week. Now I'm going to go into the topic. I'm sure you're curious what a non-scale victory or a non-scale reward is. And the only way I know to explain it is to go back into my own past and tell you what one of the things I did to celebrate a non-scale victory. As those of you that watch my channel regularly already know, Papa and I are trying to sell our property down in Florida. And something that happened is sort of what gave me the idea of doing this video today. You see, we're moving a lot of stuff back, and because of that, some of it's clothes. And before I moved it back from Florida, I had to try on a lot of clothes to see whether I wanted to keep them and put them in my closet here at home, or if I wanted to box them up and try to get rid of them at a yard sale or donate them or something like that. And while I was doing it, it reminded me of what happened to me back in 2017 after my thyroid issue, of how I had gained some weight and was trying to get that weight off to go on a trip to Disney World. I didn't lose the weight as quickly as I had back in 2014. So I got discouraged. And after about 2.5, 3 months, I was concerned that I was not going to get back down into, at that time I didn't really have a happy weight, but that's what I would call it now. I wanted to get under 125. And in August, when I got right back to weight loss mode, I weighed 145. So after 2.5 months, I'd only lost about 10 or 12 pounds out of the 20 that I needed to lose. And I was getting discouraged, and I had a couple of weeks there where I didn't lose anything. It's what I call, I was sort of in a plateau, and I needed some encouragement. And I remembered that I'd even done this back in 2014, but I really remembered hearing it when I first joined Weight Watchers, and people would talk about it on their community post that they were doing, and it was called shopping in your closet, which that concept eluded me. I didn't understand what it meant to begin with, because I'm thinking, okay, I go to my closet and I just put on the clothes that I normally wear. Isn't that what that means? I don't know. But then when you have gone through a few sizes, like I did in 2016 and the first of 2017, I knew exactly what it meant then. Because when I began to gain the weight back, those 20 pounds back, I went from a solid size 8 back into a solid size 12. And I was really almost to the top of that size 12. I was getting very upset with myself because I saw myself gaining all the weight back, and I actually ordered one pair of size 14 pants. Then that was sort of the pinnacle of when I thought to myself, I've got to get this under control. I will end up being over 200 pounds before I know it if I don't. So I got it under control, but I was losing a lot slower than I had 3 years earlier. And I did lose weight. I don't want you to think I wasn't. I lost somewhere by November. I had lost probably, like I said earlier, 12, maybe even 15 pounds. But I knew I still had more to lose, and I was losing very slowly. And so I decided one day, I'm going to go shopping in my closet. And I went back and found 6 pair of pants that I used to wear before I began to gain weight in 2016. 3 were a size 10 and 3 were a size 8. And they were some of my favorite pants. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I had missed them so because I hadn't been able to wear them in over a year. And the first 3 pair that I tried on were the size 10s, and all 3 pair fit. And that gave me so much encouragement. I knew that even though I couldn't see the scale moving a lot, that my body was shrinking again into the smaller sizes. And one of the size 8 I was able to wear. Now, would I wear it out in public? Probably not. It was still quite a bit tight on me around the waist, but I could zip it up. And so that too gave me encouragement. But the other 2 pair, and they were size 8s, were still too small. And the way that I used those 2 were that they gave me the incentive to keep going. The first 4 pair, I knew that I was losing weight, and so I was encouraged that things were moving in the right direction. The last 2 pair that I could not wear gave me incentive to get into them. And when all was said and done, when March came along and it was time for my trip with my granddaughter, I was able to say that all 6 pair of those pants were too big on me. I had lost a cushion weight of about 10 pounds because I wanted to have fun in Disney World, which I did. I had about 3 pounds of fun when I went to Disney World, but by the time that I made it to March, I had been successful enough to wear all 6 pair of those pants were too big. And I was solidly in a size 6, and I actually had a couple of pair of size 4s. Now, those 4s are long gone. I've only stayed in them for just a few weeks. I've still got one pair of the 6s that I wear occasionally, but now I'm firmly in that 8. And I believe shopping in my closet was enough to give me incentive to get through that plateau that I was in, making me know that I'd had some success. And the 2 that didn't fit, it really made me want to get in them, and I kept going until I did lose the weight I needed to lose. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I always try to be an encouragement. Some weeks I'm more encouraging than others, but this week, to me, I feel like I've encouraged myself to stay in my happy weight. Also, I want you to comment below, have you ever gone shopping in your closet? Do you understand the concept? Because it sort of eluded me when I first started doing it. But now I've learned that it can really be a good and a helpful tool in losing weight. And finally, if you know anybody that this video might help, encourage, or give them incentive, please share. God bless each and every one of you. Until next time, goodbye.